Is Alaskan bush people returning? That's what many fans are wondering as the popular Discovery Channel reality series remains on extended hiatus and hasn't aired a new episode since December 2022. The network hasn't officially cancelled the show, which aired for 14 seasons between 2014 and 2022, but it also hasn't provided a reason for the series' disappearance. Many viewers thought that the death of the family patriarch Billy Brown in February 2021 might have contributed to the show being off the air. But no official reason has been forthcoming. According to the U.S. Sun, Alaskan bush people has no plans to film future episodes amid a $500,000 legal battle. The outlet reports that Billy's business partner, Robert Morn, filed a breach of contract lawsuit against the late star's estate and business Alaskan Wilderness Family Productions in April 2021, just 2 months after Billy's passing. The filing, which lists Billy's wife, Amora Amy Brown, as the defendant, includes a testimony in which Amy refers to Alaskan bush people in the past tense, implying the series is over. Testimony acknowledging that the show Alaskan bush people ultimately had 14 seasons, with the last season being filmed in 2022, the document reads. Per the U.S. Sun, the filing continues to refer to the reality series in the past tense, including a statement that reads, "These breaches occurred despite the significant profits generated by particularly through the television series Alaskan Bush People, which was featured on the Discovery Channel network." In addition, Alaskan Bush People is not listed on Discovery Channel's media page as one of the company's properties. However, it does remain on the network's main page, though there hasn't been an update since September 2022. The lawsuit stems from claims made by Morn that he made a deal with Billy, in which the Brown patriarch agreed to pay him 10% of the gross income of Alaska Wilderness Family Productions from the creative works of Billy Brian Brown, specifically including books, movies, television, and documentaries. Morn claims he has not received these payments. Discovery has been dragged into the case, with the filing reading plaintiff also anticipates issuing a trial subpoena for the appearance and testimony at trial of corporate representative of Discovery Networks regarding financial earnings from and payments related to the Alaskan Bush People television program last month. Amy filed a motion to dismiss the claims, arguing the alleged contract was made in Alaska, where there is no joint community obligation of a spouse for the debts of the other spouse. In April 2024, Billy and Amy's son, Bear Brown, shared an update on the status of Alaskan bush people, writing on Instagram, "Over the past year I have been asked if there will be a new season of Alaskan bush people. While I can't answer that question at this time, I am excited to announce Alaskan bush people behind the scenes with Bear Brown." He continued, "It's starting with the first season. I will be talking about both things in front of the camera and behind it. The first episode is dropping summer 2024. In the meantime, you can stream all the old episodes of On." Bear hasn't shared any further updates on the behind-the-scenes spin-off since then. On February 13th, Amy was medically evacuated and taken to hospital, where she was diagnosed with pneumonia. Her son Noah shared an update on February 15th, saying in a TikTok video, "It looks like she might be coming back Monday and be released. That'd be like the earliest possible." Apparently he added, "So yeah, again, thank you all for the well wishes and the prayers and everything. Oh, she had me a little bit worried, she did. Yeah, but she's okay, she's gonna be good. I'm just gonna move on from here." One of the defining turning points for Alaskan bush people came in February 2021, when patriarch Billy Brown died suddenly from a seizure at the age of 68. His death left the family fractured both emotionally and financially. Billy had been the narrative backbone of the series since its inception. His vision of self-sufficiency and frontier living shaped the show's identity. Without him, viewers felt the story lost its central anchor. While later seasons attempted to spotlight the younger Browns and matriarch Amy, the chemistry shifted, and ratings reflected that decline. The legal battle over his estate only deepened the sense that the era of Alaskan bush people had ended. Court filings that repeatedly referred to the show in the past tense fueled headlines about its cancellation, even though no official word came from Discovery. Corporate mergers and programming shifts. The Discovery-Warner Media merger, finalized in 2022, reshaped the entire television landscape. Warner Bros. Discovery shifted programming priorities, slashing costs and shelving projects across multiple networks. Shows like Alaskan Bush People, costly to produce due to remote filming locations, travel, and specialized crews, may not have aligned with the company's new strategy. WBD leaned heavily into unscripted shows with broader appeal, such as 90 Day Fiancé spin-offs and Gold Rush. The lack of official cancellation may reflect corporate caution. Announcing a cancellation could complicate ongoing legal disputes tied to Billy's estate. Instead, keeping the show in a quiet hiatus state allows the network to avoid unnecessary legal entanglements while pivoting resources elsewhere. Another underappreciated factor is the sheer number of seasons. 14 seasons in less than a decade is a breakneck pace. While the early years thrived on the novelty of off-grid survival, later seasons increasingly relied on manufactured drama, like the family's relocation from Alaska to Washington state. Some fans argued the storylines became repetitive or exaggerated, with less focus on true bush living and more on interpersonal squabbles. By the time season 14 aired, critics complained that the show had lost the raw authenticity that once defined it. This decline in narrative freshness often signals the natural end of a reality series. The spin-off question: the strongest hope for fans lies not in a direct renewal but in potential spin-offs. Bear Brown's teased project, Alaskan Bush People, behind the scenes offers a possible blueprint. If he can generate enough interest on digital platforms, Discovery or another streaming service might reconsider investing in a limited series revival. However, whether audiences want to see the Browns without Billy at the helm is a tougher question. Snowbird's YouTube channel demonstrates that fans remain curious about individual journeys, but collective family programming may struggle without its patriarch. Reality television in 2025 looks much different than it did in 2014. Streaming platforms dominate and niche cable shows struggle to compete for attention. Alaskan Bush People thrived in an era where cable viewers craved gritty, outdoorsy escapism. Today, survival-style shows are abundant on YouTube, TikTok, and streaming platforms, often produced by independent creators with lower costs and greater authenticity. This shift means Discovery may not see the return on investment in rebooting a complex, high-budget series like Alaskan Bush People when cheaper alternatives generate similar engagement. The most realistic scenario is that Alaskan Bush People will remain dormant indefinitely, remembered for its remarkable run but unlikely to return in its original form. Fans may eventually see spin-offs or retrospective specials, but the flagship show appears to have ended quietly, without the closure of an official cancellation notice. When Alaskan Bush People premiered on May 6, 2014, it instantly carved out a niche. The series followed the Brown family, who lived far from modern conveniences, hunting, fishing, and building shelters in the remote Alaskan wilderness. Audiences were drawn to its raw premise: a large family surviving against the odds, with Billy and Amy Brown guiding their children through a rugged, self-sufficient lifestyle. For Discovery, it became one of their most recognizable properties, standing alongside Deadliest Catch and Gold Rush in the pantheon of rugged reality shows. But after 14 seasons, fans are asking the big question: has it ended for good, or is it just hibernating a history of high ratings and controversy at its peak? Alaskan Bush People drew millions of viewers per episode. Its appeal was simple. Viewers wanted to see how people could thrive off-grid without the conveniences of modern society. Yet from the very beginning, critics accused the show of staging scenarios. In 2015, reports surfaced that the Browns had actually lived in modern housing during breaks in filming. Several family members faced legal issues, including charges for falsifying Alaska residency to receive permanent fund dividends. They eventually pleaded guilty to lying about living in the state year-round. Despite these controversies, the drama often fueled ratings rather than hurt them. Viewers tuned in as much for the interpersonal conflicts and legal sagas as for the wilderness escapades. The Billy Brown factor. A patriarch's absence. Billy Brown wasn't just the father of the family, he was the narrative center of the show. His philosophy of bush living, his gravelly storytelling voice, and his pioneering spirit framed the series. His death in February 2021 left a gaping hole. Later seasons attempted to spotlight the younger Browns, but without Billy's leadership, the show felt adrift. By season 14, production had shifted from Alaska to Washington state. While this move cut some costs, it also eroded the Alaskan brand identity. Fans criticized the change, arguing that the Browns were no longer living the wilderness lifestyle that originally hooked audiences. Warner Bros. Discovery and the hiatus. When Warner Media merged with Discovery in 2022, cost-cutting became a corporate priority. Dozens of shows were quietly shelved, some canceled outright. In this climate, Bear Brown's March 2025 statement that the show was on hiatus, not cancelled, made sense. Hiatus status means the network doesn't have to officially declare an end, which could impact contracts, syndication, and legal disputes. In reality, hiatus often means cancellation in slow motion. Rather than issue a press release, Discovery appears content to let the show fade from memory, allowing fans to interpret the silence however they wish. For longtime viewers, it's a bittersweet close. The Browns brought wilderness living into millions of living rooms, but the story seems to have reached its natural conclusion.